What's up, guys? Danger Rock here. Today we're looking at Spider Man the Animated Series, Superposable Spider Man, which came out in 1994 when the Spider Man animated series was airing. And this is a really awesome Spider Man action figure. He really resembles Spider Man from that '90s show, and he's one of the most posable Toybiz figures that's out there. So what we're going to be doing today is taking a closer look at this Spider-Man and comparing him to some other '90s Spider-Man figures that came out during that time frame. So we're going to take a closer look at the figure, and this is considered by a lot of people to be the definitive incarnation of Spider-Man, which I can understand why it was such a great animated series. And it's really nice how Toybiz put all this creativity into this toy line at the time. And what I'm looking at right here is just what it looks like an ordinary Spider-Man, but he's got so many multi-jointed superposes. This guy here is jam-packed with articulation. Not only can you move his head, his arms, his feet, his knees bend. He has toe articulation. You can fully swivel him at the waist. He's got an ab crunch that goes pretty far up, pretty far down. His elbows bend. And he also does have hand articulation, which it's just a hinge where it moves up and down. But I thought that was really cool compared to the 5 points of articulation Spider-Man figures that we have right here, where you can only move the head, arms, legs, and the elbows, which I thought was really interesting. What I really like about this one is it really captures the look of the animated series extremely well. So what we're going to do is, let's see if we could get a date on him. It says somewhere here the date that this guy was made. It says I thought it came out in 1994. That's awesome. I've had this figure for a while, and I absolutely love him. He's actually pretty expensive nowadays because this is no longer being made. But if we take a look at him compared to another Spider-Man figure that I consider to be great, as you can see, this one's got a completely different look and face sculpt to it. The spider on the back looks very different. Here it kind of looks like it's split in two, where it'll move with the however you want to pose Spider-Man, so that's actually really cool. Also, there's a lot more webbing pattern on him than this guy right here. This guy has a lot of web pattern on him, except for right in the center of the chest here where his spider is. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And also, this guy right here also does have foot articulation, which is something that these two guys in the back here actually don't have. So he's very well articulated for a Spider-Man figure. I feel like there's just something to the old days of Spider-Man collecting that just can't be beat, especially like this 1994 era of the animated series into the early 2000s, where it was the Toybiz Spider-Man classic line. I just feel like this is like a one-of-a-kind thing I have right here, which is actually, these figures have actually been repainted pretty many times from different designs from the show, and also designs that weren't in the show. So I thought that was very toyetic and interesting. But going back to this Spider-Man figure right here, he is just a wonder to behold. I would say you could get him to do a split kick. You could get him into some really spidery poses. I really like this figure a lot. What's also really cool about him is just his mask. If we look at the eyes right here, he actually does look like the way it looked in the show. And everybody in that show, I feel like, was extremely large. As you can see, this Spider-Man right here has a very wide chest, which is show accurate. This one is wide also, but it's not as wide. And I feel like everybody in that show was extremely large for some reason. So for comparisons, here's another one right here. This is actually the battle damage version, which this is so awesome. Like, look, we could see Peter Parker's hair coming out of his mask. You could see his eye lens right there is damaged. You could see his teeth, half of his face. You could see all the rips and everything on the costume right here, like he was fighting the Green Goblin or somebody. That is just really cool. And I know there's a lot more than what I have right here, but you know, these figures to me were something else. Like, look at this one right here, which has a completely different face mask, which I feel like the mask does look accurate to the show as well. But this one is orange instead of red, and the blue on it is a lot darker. As you can see, a completely different spider logo on the back right here. He is still very cool, though. So if we just set him aside for another comparison, like, this is what I mean by funky designs. Look at this Spider-Man figure. It looks cool, though, but this was actually never used in the cartoon, which I actually find very interesting. And another thing that's also really cool is, here's some trivia. Here's a fact that I know is, if we take a look at this Spider-Man the Animated Series figure right here, it actually did have a toy line at McDonald's. And this is the action figure that you could get at McDonald's back in the day. And just looking at this guy, this is like almost as good as like what you would get at a Walmart or something. And the trivia about this, which I'm not sure everybody knows, is that if you look at this figure, which they're advertising, this is from Spider-Man, the Animated Series. If you look at his face, he has a very Steve Ditko design reminiscence. And that's what I really like about this McDonald's toy, is that we don't have a lot of Spider-Man figures out there that capture this like Steve Ditko look, except for the Amazing Fantasy 15 Toybiz and Hasbro figures. But what's really cool is, like, the easiest way to know, well, the first easy way to know is if you look at Amazing Fantasy 15, the title cover. But if you look at the mask on this guy, compare the mask on this guy, this is the Animated Series. This is Steve Ditko's illustration completely coming to life in this McDonald's toy, which I actually think that was very clever for them to advertise that as a Spider-Man the Animated Series now at McDonald's. But overall, out of all the figures you see right here, for as much as I love this guy right here, and I like the orange on that guy over there, the victory's got to go to this one. I really like his paint apps and all the posability that he comes with. He is just on another level of greatness, especially compared to the figures of today. This guy is definitely a must-have. If you want to get him, I would say the best way to get him is on eBay. I couldn't highly recommend him enough if you're a Spider-Man fan. This is one I want to keep in my collection forever because of how great he is. And to be honest, I actually like him more than some of the figures that are made nowadays. But that's just my opinion. Every opinion is each to his own. But this has been my review of the Spider-Man the Animated Series Superposable Spider-Man action figure made by Toybiz in 1994. If you like this video, please leave a like. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers on this channel, I will be showing off my collection and also my Spider-Man collection, which has a lot of figures in it. So hit that like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think of this figure? Do you guys think this was the definitive incarnation of the wall crawler? I really look forward from hearing from you guys. Thank you all for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the next video review.